So we have to be brought together unconsciously. We have to see another person as being perfect, right? In order for us to bond with that person. So what happens in the honeymoon phase is that we drop all of our walls and all of our boundaries become loose. Our boundaries become loose so that the other person can permeate our boundaries, and that's how we become one. That's what it means. Your boundaries become loose, they permeate, you become one with the other person. That's the honeymoon phase. What happens in the reality devaluation phase, you start to slowly want to put your boundaries back up again. That's what happens. And when we get to the power struggle phase, your boundaries are back up. Now you've created this stark wall where the other person can no longer get through to those boundaries. Right. They're fortified. You put them right back up, just like when you were single, they go back up again. The reason why that happens is in the power struggle phase, both you and your partner are trying to differentiate from each other. So meaning you're trying to turn your relationship from the we. So you each, when you were single, were an I and a you when you were single. In the honeymoon phase, you become a we. In the power struggle phase, you're trying to maintain that we while also having an I and a you. So when you get to the power struggle phase, you want there to be 3 people in your relationship, an I, a you, and a we. That's really what happens. So what happens is people struggle to figure out how exactly do we do that? How do we remain a we while I also have an I and you also have a you? It's called individuation or differentiation. Because often in relationships, people will think that my partner thinking exactly how I think, my partner liking exactly what I like, this is what love is. This is not what love is at all. What love is that you allow another person to be themselves, to have their own likes, to have their own dislikes, to have their own things that they, bring them joy, their own feelings, and you still love that person anyways. That's what love actually is. So basically, long story short, in the power struggle phase, it's 2 people trying to go from that we of the honeymoon phase to maintain that we, but to also then branch out a little bit more and have an I, a you, and a we. Does that make sense?